Hey guys, MD Prepper here. We're talking about low-cost prepping options and low-cost first-time ownership for firearms. We're talking about semi-auto pistols, and we're obviously talking about pocket guns here with the Kel Tec P32. This was my first little pocket gun that I ever bought. Carried the heck out of this thing for years and years and years. Definitely carried this firearm more than any other firearm I've got for concealed carry. Probably carried this one more for concealed carry than every other concealed carry firearm I've got, all put together as far as hours carried. Because even if I was carrying something larger or something else, I generally had this one on me until I upgraded to the Diamondback 380. We'll talk about that one later. Kel Tec makes great stuff overall. They do take a little bit of fluff and buff, as they say, for the smaller guns back in the day. You had to polish some feed ramps and all that type of stuff in the early days, though I think that's gotten a whole lot better overall from what I've seen from their products. Very cost effective. Kel Tec is one of the best firearms for the money out there because it's low cost and it works. A little bit of work sometimes, yeah, okay. That's fine for the price. Got this one, I believe, for around $225, something like that. Maybe $200, I can't remember. It's been a long, long time. Carried the heck out of this thing. You can generally find these for less than $350 if you look around. And you can find used ones for about $175, something like that. So I would certainly recommend Kel Tec as a decent little pocket gun. Now, this doesn't have all the versatility of a larger caliber like a 9mm 40 or 45, but again, I don't care. Sometimes I can't carry a 45, sometimes I can't carry a 40 or a 38 special and all of that. This is light, it's thin, it fits anywhere you want it to. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. If you're wearing anything at all, if you're wearing a Speedo and a skin-tight t-shirt, God help you. But if you were, you could probably find a place to conceal this, especially with a little side clip, which I don't have on this one. I do have a side clip, I just never installed it because I never needed it. But great little guns overall. Very lightweight, very thin. This is lighter and thinner than my wallet. So you don't know you're having this in your back pocket or your front pocket, wherever. You can always carry this thing. I would recommend you get yourself a little pocket holster, like this little Uncle Mike's that I've got right here. This thing is old. I think this is maybe 7, 8 years old. I used to carry it every single day for years and years, up to the last couple. So I probably carried this daily for, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, I don't know. So fits real nice. Pulls out of your pocket real easy. Smooth, nice lines on the back side of this thing. There's nothing to catch, anything like that. No slide stop, anything to get in your way. The only thing that protrudes even slightly is the magazine release right here, okay? And that's not bad at all. So, a little bit of stats on this thing. It's 5.1 inches long overall. It's got a 2.7 inch barrel, and you say, that's not much. Well, no, it's not. Same as a stub nose, a little longer. It's accurate enough. You're going to only use this if somebody's up in your face. It's 3.5 inches tall. It's 0.75 wide, so 3/4 of an inch wide, which is about as thin as any firearm you're ever going to find to carry. This may be one of the thinnest firearms ever. It's 7+1 capacity, so 8 rounds, that's great. That's a lot of ammo. In 380, it's 6+1, so 7 rounds. That's still a lot. It's got about a 5-pound double-action trigger pull on it, which once you work it in and fire a few hundred rounds through it, it smooths up a lot. Let me go ahead and show you. Safety check that, nothing in there. So, slapping that mag back in. Trigger, it's fine, nothing wrong. No double strike capability on it. The slide does lock back on the last round open, which I think is a great little addition for a gun this size. Though, honestly, I don't tend to carry extra magazines for something this small. I tend to use this as my backup for my New York reloads, which is having a larger size pistol. And when you run out of ammo, you just draw another gun. Heck with stopping to reload. I always worry about those people who say, well, I've got my Glock and I've got 3, 4 magazines on me. Well, you know what? Glocks are great. They're highly dependable, but it's a machine. It can break. Anything can break. If your gun goes sproing on you, it doesn't matter how many magazines you've gotten back up. It's worthless. You can throw the magazines at somebody. What if you fumble around and drop the gun while you're trying to reload, whatever? Now, I'd rather not fool around with an extra magazine for general concealed purposes. I'd rather have another gun on my offhand side carry. A police officer taught me a long time ago. You have your primary weapon on your right hip. You have your backup weapon on your left side, if you're right-handed. So, you know, primary gun on your right pocket or your right hip or wherever you want. Small your back so you can draw with your right hand. you don't want your backup gun on the same side. Carry it on the off side, preferably your left rear pocket or left front pocket if you're right-handed. Because if somebody's grabbing your gun and you're struggling for the gun, let them struggle for the gun. Grab this one from the other side and go to town. Good to go. Very lightweight. I've known a lot of police officers that I've dealt with over the years in my line of work that highly recommend these. Carry these, ankle carry or wherever else. Things about this gun that I don't like. If you fire this thing a lot at the range, at least with my hand, you're going to get a sore on the bottom of your finger. You're going to get a little blister down here because the small trigger guard, for me, the way I hold the gun, rubs against the bottom there a lot. So if I'm firing a whole box of ammo, it's going to hurt me after a while, honestly. I don't tend to fire a whole box at a time. There's a slimline double action trigger. I did replace the guide rod here with a steel one. Don't know if you can see that there. It comes with a plastic one, and obviously I carried it with the plastic one for years and shot almost all the rounds out of this with the plastic guide rod. It's fine. I never had any issues with it, but when I found the main Kel Tec site selling the steel rods, I got it. So I do have a pocket clip. Like I said, I have never installed it. I know people speak wonders about it. I just never did. Anyway, other stats on this thing, comes in either a blued, parkerized, or chrome finish. This is the blued I got for cheap when I had no money back in the day. It's held up fine. It's got quite a bit of wear on it. You probably can't see it in the camera at all, but this thing's fairly beat up on the slide as far as wear and tear on it. Still functional. No pitting or anything like that on it, but this thing's been carried in all sorts of hot climates and high humidity and you name it. This thing's been there. Been just about everywhere with me for years. Don't carry it anymore. I did add this little rubberized pistol grip wraparound that I trimmed down, and if you may notice the lips on the bottom, so this thing's actually reversed. I turned it upside down. Let me take it off and show you. There it is right there. I like that. I think that gives me a little extra purchase with my bottom finger here. This is a 1.5 finger hold firearm, so I don't know if you can see it at all right there, but you're not going to get a full 2 fingers on it, for me anyway, standard size hand, with either gun, with either grip on it. I like the little rubberized a little bit better with that little lip. I find that a little easier to grab a hold of. It does not interfere with the magazine release. That's just the way I've carried this thing for many, many years, and it slides off just fine. Easy to get off and on, but using it, it's not going to be a problem. It's not going to slip off on you in your pocket or anything like that. The checkering on this thing is fine. There's nothing wrong with the checkering at all on either side, but I just think it feels a little bit better with this little pebbled rubberized on it. A little bit extra width to it. I think it's used a little more comfortably with that. Again, that's just my personal preference. So anyway, very thin little gun, ultra lightweight. The stats on the weight, it's 6.6 ounces for the unloaded pistol. It's an extra 2.8 ounces with a loaded magazine. So do the math, that is 9.4 ounces for the full gun. So under 10 ounces. That is unbelievable. That's just about unbeatable in anything with 8 rounds in it. Tremendous. I'd rather have this than nothing at all, and I have always have this. Well, used to anyway. Like I said, trigger pull is 5 pounds. The 3AT is a little bit heavier. I think the basic pistol is about, if I remember from the website, 2 ounces heavier. So I believe it was 8.5 or 8.8 ounces, something like that. The loaded magazine with 1 round less is the same weight, so it's 2.8 ounces per their website. So that adds up to about 11.5 ounces. Also unbeatable. I bought this way back before they had the 380 version of it and carried it for years. And when they came out with the 380, that was back when you couldn't find 380 ammo, especially, you know, any kind of ammo to shoot and practice with. So I didn't invest in 380s for pocket guns until the last couple of years, just due to ammo availability. I could find 32s. They were expensive, but I could find them. Now, 380 is a much better round than 32. It is. Slightly larger. Recoil is very minimally more. I don't know if I'd go for a 32 again unless I just found it for a low cost and that's all I could afford. I'd go for a 380. Again, if I had to do it over again, no, I'd buy this one because they didn't have a 380. This is fine. They have different color of grips that you can get and frames that you can change out, all sorts of wacky colors and stylized. I say no to every last one of those. Don't get pink, don't get purple, don't get blue or green. No, stick with black. This thing is going to be in your pocket or in your waistband or wherever the heck you're going to want this thing. Black is going to fade in with the shadows. It's not going to stand out. If I had a shallow pocket and this thing happened to be the backside poking out a little bit, somebody sees a little bit of black on the bottom, they're probably not going to say, oh my God, what is that? It's probably going to fade into the shadows of my pocket or whatever. If it's bright enough, someone may look at it a little too much and go, oh my God, you've got a concealed weapon, and problems occur. Now this is small enough, that's not going to be an issue, but that's a general philosophy for concealed guns. You don't get too flashy, you don't get pink. That's ridiculous. I'm a guy, I wouldn't get pink anyway. But even if you're a girl, don't get pink. If you screw up and somebody happens to see it, hot pink's going to draw a lot more attention than just standard black. This is going to fade in to the shadows. So anyway, great gun, love it a lot. Would carry it today if I didn't have my little diamond back. Still love it. If I had to carry an extra little backup to my backup, grab this one in a heartbeat. Love it a lot. Once I put 200 rounds through it, fluffed it up, buffed it a little bit, got it worn in, it's been flawless. Never had a single failure with it outside of the initial 200 rounds. So again, for less than 250 bucks, you know, is this my first firearm I'd want on? No, absolutely not. Not that fun to shoot, but if you're going to conceal carry every day in various situations down here in the South where it's hot and humid and everything else, you need something like this. And again, not your primary, not the gun I want on my nightstand or in my glove box in my car, but it's better than nothing. Again, this is for concealed carry. Again, I'd primarily say it's best as a backup gun to your primary, but I've carried this all the time. It's a nice peace of mind. I'd rather have a gun than none. Nobody wants to step into a hail of 32 bullets or 22s or anything else. So I felt plenty confident carrying this for a lot of years. So Kel Tec P32 and the 3AT, which is the 380 version, highly recommend them. Great stuff, especially for the affordability. You can't beat the price or the weight or the concealability. All right, guys, MD Prepper out.